Hey guys, John here. Hope you're having a great day and my message finds you in good health and good spirits and having a great week. Today I'm going to talk about a topic called the why. You may have heard this before. The why is what's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's what drove you to start your business and become an entrepreneur at the first place. It's what gets you through those rough times when the what and the how become burdensome and challenging and you're frustrated. You're trying to learn things you've never learned before. And yet sometimes though, when you stay focusing on the how and the what too long, we forget and lose sight of our why. And there's a phrase that I've heard growing up, which is when the why is strong enough, the facts don't matter. You hear that with athletes. You hear that. You see it in anything when people have achieved, and they seem like they're an overachiever. You overcome so many odds that it just wasn't because their why was strong enough. When the why is strong enough, you figure out the solutions. Yet here's what I have been learning that I think is important for you to maybe do a self-assessment for yourself, which is, do you know what your why is? Another way to say is, do you know where you're going? Do you have an end goal in mind? Some people will call it an exit strategy for your business because there's really only two roles: build it up and sell it, or have somebody run it. So you got to know what that exit strategy is. When do you want to have that exit strategy? Define it as closely as you can. Say, is this where I'm going to have people involved? Am I going to have someone run my company? Well, what does that look like? But even deeper, what do you want your life to look like? Because really, at the end of the day, we're not just working to work. We're working for some other reason. There's a why behind why we're doing this. And if you don't put finances and a plan behind the why and define what your ideal life is, you're going to be caught up in this grind every day. This is one of the things I always do with people, especially when I talk to them about their breakout sessions. And I first do an evaluation of their business, help them define where they want to go, when they want to get there. Because only then can we back up to where you are today to determine, can what you're doing today and how you're doing it ever get you there? And if it can, will it be in the time frame that you would ideally like? Yes or no? And if not, what do we have to change today to get back to that? Because you have to begin with the end in mind. It's kind of like saying, I want to get to Europe and not have any plan. You have no idea if you're going to fly, take a boat, or you're going to, submarine. I don't know how you're going to do it. But they say, I'm going to get to Europe someday. How? I don't know. I'm just going to get there. Well, you got to have a little more definition what that's going to be so then we can plan it out. Do you have the right equipment? You don't just one day say, I'm going to go climb Mount Everest. No, there's some planning involved. There's some conditioning. There's some training. And yet in business, sometimes we know this logically, but somehow, and what happens is the busyness of running your business and operating your business, you forget to think like a leader or CEO on how to grow the company. So here's my challenge for you today. Write down, why did you start your business originally? Are you still operating under that same motivation, or has it changed? Do you maybe need to revisit your why? Do you need to say, there's a new why I need to look at? My life may have changed. My family situation would have changed. We just went through a pandemic, and, that has changed some people's why. They've kind of refocused based upon what is most important to them. And I will always challenge, and I challenge this of everybody, define your ideal life. That's also another way of calling your why. Then, when you work with somebody, your team, your family, whoever you have close to you, if we can help you out, let us know. We'll do that with you. We'll help you define a path and a roadmap to get you to where you want, because that is what gets you up in the morning. That's what kind of gives you that extra resolve to push through when challenges come up, which they inevitably will. Especially the bigger the goal, the bigger the challenges. So anyway, I'm going to wrap that up for today. But do me a favor, if you would, I'd love to hear what your why was, why you started your business. And then maybe on a scale of 1 to 5, how close? 5 is, hey, man, we're still on target. We're just dialed in. We're going right after it. I'd love to hear that. If you're maybe a 1, okay, that's being honest. You got to start with where you're at. Maybe why aren't you there? Share that with me, because the more feedback I have, the more information we can give to you to maybe help you go from maybe a 1 to a 3, or 3 to a 4, or 4 to a 5. And eventually want to get everybody to a 5. So let me know your thoughts. Share them below. If you think this is helpful, you got someone else who might want to think through this process, they think it might be good for them, pass along the video to them. So, hey, thanks. Share your comments below. I look forward to hearing from them. Till then, have a great day.